This is my Ariens 520 with an electric start that's running. It runs well, but the blades don't turn. It's completely frozen. It does move forward, so here we're going to take a look at how to take it apart and find out where the belts are. So here is where the belts are, and then as we look down at the tire pressures are good, they look fine. Creeping up to the gas tank, that's where the gas goes in, and that's where the oil goes in. Now I've checked all those, and all those are just where they should be. The issue seems to be that the rotors are not turning, so let's shut this off and start to take this apart. So we'll come down to the side and we're going to remove the belt casing first. But before that, let's remove the spark plug. Here comes the spark plug. Just This is a good safety measure. Put it back on just to see that it all fits, and that's not an issue there. And there, remove it. So now we're safe to work on it. And keep in mind that after running it for a while, the parts can be very hot. So let's get down to the side and take a look at what we're going to remove. We've got the right socket here, and then let's get to it. Now we've got the second screw off. Let's remove the casing. And that reveals the belts. Now to keep these screws safe, I'll put them back on rather than have them roll around. And there we have two belts. That one seems a little slack, that seems pretty snug. Let's go ahead and reconnect the spark plug, and then let's start it so we can see what the belts are doing. There, we've got it started now. And when I push that blade, we can see that that belt is hardly moving, the belt to the right. The belt to the left is turning, but the belt to the right is clearly slipping. So let's take a look at that belt again. Oh yes, there's a tremendous amount of slack in that. And that's not going to grip the rotor below that turns the blades. That's a fair amount of slack. So in order to get that belt out, we have to disassemble more of the snowblower. So there are some screws here to detach the front end. And what we're going to do, detach them so we have better access to the snowblower. There's also the snow guide up here that's attached to the front end. Probably need to release that too. So let's get down to it. Look at the blades that's stuck while the other one's freely turning, and that's a matter of the pin being broken, and that's an easy fix. It's the fact that it doesn't turn at all that's the issue. So we'll find the right tool and start loosening these bolts. Let's go around to the other side. And on the way, let's release the rod that's connected to the snow thrower. We'll put the screw back in here so we don't lose it. A couple more screws to release. And now the other side. Let's loosen these bolts before we start removing them. And now it's time to actually remove them. And now we'll remove the top two. The bottom one sits in a slot, so it'll slide right out. We don't necessarily need to remove it. And now let's do the same on this side. As these bolts come off, the front should tip over. All we have to do is lift that front part off that slot, and the whole thing will come apart. And there it's come apart. Now to look at the belts. That belt is loose. I see some cracks in the belt. Let's take it off. There it is. There's a crack right there. And it's stretched. This belt did not have a part number on it. The other belt, the belt behind it, you can see the printed numbers right there. So we got the belt and went ahead and installed it and then reassembled the snowblower, a reverse of what we did earlier. And here it is, working well. Thanks so much for watching.